here are 5 stupid things I've noticed about anti-Semitism. It's ancient. Bigotry and tribalism have been with us since before the dawn of our species, if the behavior of other modern primates is any indication. Even so, there's something unique about anti-Semitism that makes it feel especially deeply rooted in us. Maybe it's the Jewish character of the Bible and the undeniable influence the Bible has had on Western civilization. Maybe it's how widespread anti-Semitism has been throughout the history of all of what used to be called Christendom. Maybe it's the fact that it's still evident even today in our relatively progressive, permissive society. Whatever it is, there's something darkly elemental about it. Like an old hate that lives in the bone. And also, it fuels conspiracy theorist paranoia. Some conspiracy theories are blatantly anti-Semitic. The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, Holocaust denial, and most paranoia about globalism reduces to "the Jews run the world." But bite deeply enough into almost any conspiracy theory, and eventually you will reach the gooey Jew-hating center. John F. Kennedy was actually killed by agents of the Mossad. Israel was involved in the 9/11 attacks. The Apollo moon landings were faked as part of a Jewish-controlled mass psychology experiment, just to see how many of us would figure it out. Well, God, it's no wonder that our Zionist overlords are taking so damn long to enslave the human race. They're spread too thin. It sounds to me like the international Jewish conspiracy needs to focus up! It's pervasive. It's a shame that anti-Semitism is such an execrable part of our cultural psyche, because it really could bring people together. I mean, it does bring people together, but bring people together to do good things, I meant, because it is everywhere. And so multifaceted. Some folks still hold a grudge against Jews for killing Jesus. Some folks have a hard-on for Jewish-controlled banks and media. And some just seem unreasonably upset by typically Semitic physical characteristics. Maybe it's because Jewish is a cultural, ethnic, and religious identity, so it works for all varieties of bigot. They really are a versatile people, aren't they? Jewish people, I meant, not bigots. Well, yeah, I guess them too. It transcends religion. So like I said, anti-Semitism is deeply rooted in the history and traditions of Christianity, and it has also become a very prominent feature of modern Islam. In fact, it's one of the few things that fundamentalist nut jobs in both faiths can agree on. Christian anti-Semitism is rooted in the Jewish rejection of Christ and the charge of deicide. Plus, when Rome was Christianized, a lot of that tension between Rome and the Jews was carried over. It was a whole thing. And as for Muslim anti-Semitism, on the one hand, it's incredibly reductive to attribute an animus that is the result of an ongoing and complex cultural interaction to a single conflict. But on the other hand, it's because of Israel. Which brings me to the 5th stupid thing about anti-Semitism. It poisons discussions about Israel. The recent bombing in Gaza has provided ample reminders of how impossible it is to have a rational discussion about the state of Israel in the United States. Most politicians, whether they be Democrats or Republicans, are simply unwilling to say anything too critical of Israel lest they be tarred as anti-Semites, even with the IDF shelling Palestinian hospitals and killing civilians at an alarming rate. So, after our long, regrettable history of anti-Semitism, my country has arrived at a point where unequivocal support of the State of Israel is not only one of the safest positions any politician can take, it's the only position you can take if you ever hope to be elected to any office higher than town selectman. Which is progress, I guess? See, that's how insidious anti-Semitism is. Even when we're trying to avoid it, it fucks our shit up. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.